Hi, and welcome to the Knitting Game and Other Stuff. Come on in.
Scissors and string. Soon it will be spring.
Hi, and welcome to the Knitting Game and Other Stuff. I'm your host, Leslie. And as you can see, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. Yesterday was Monday, today is Tuesday. That's usually the way it works. And instead of recording at the guild last night, we had our spinners study group. And I didn't record because I don't know how the other ladies feel about being on camera. I am a bit of an extrovert, I guess, and don't mind, but I don't want to put people in that position if they don't want to be. So I left the camera at home. So I decided I would do a quick little show this evening and afternoon, and I started to think it would be kind of neat if you guys could see how I spin. I mean, it's not rocket science, I don't think. I don't know, I have a pretty good time. I'm sure I'm doing it completely wrong. But I enjoy, and this is how I do it. I'm actually pretty close to the flyer, to my orifice, and I'm not usually I sit pretty far back and spin. But I thought you guys might enjoy a little cameo by my wheel tonight, and I'm going to do the show by spinning wheel. So, in case you don't know, I have a Frickie, and that's what I'm using right here. Her name is Ethel. She's a little of the utilitarian type. So, I figured I'd give her a very strong girl's name. So, and I get lost in the moment. I'm trying to spin this fairly thin. This is Into the World. I cannot for the life of me remember what the colorway is. It was a club colorway, and I'm almost done. I've been spinning this forever. So it goes from this purple to the green. There's reds and oranges, all sorts of really nice colors. So this is what I'm spinning. This is the end of the braid, right? So I only have about, this much left to go. And then I'm going to Navajo ply it. And it is destined to become a shawl. This is a merino and silk blend. 50-50, I believe. Like I said, I can't remember exactly what the colorway name is. It's coming out not as consistent as I would like. I mean, this is pretty thin, but there's some there's some spots that are thinner, and I'm sure you can't even see that really shown up on the camera. There's some spots that are thinner. There are some spots that are thicker. Oh, and if you haven't seen my girl there, I know I've flashed her a couple of times on camera, but I figured that would be a nice close-up. So there's some spots that are thinner, some spots that are thicker, but I figure with a Navajo ply it might kind of sort itself out. A little bit about my wheel more, I guess. As you may have noticed, the bobbins look like Magicraft bobbins, and they are, but the Frickie family, they hollow out the part that goes on the shaft here. They make it bigger so it can fit onto the post here, because this post is a little bit bigger. And as you can see, I have a Delta flyer, or a Delta orifice. So this wheel is really great for doing art yarn, and as you can see, it spins pretty thin. I could probably go thinner. I have 5 different ratios back here. I mean, isn't that a gorgeous, hopefully you can see it, a gorgeous whirl. I have 5 different ratios. So it's very, very versatile. That's the word I was going for. One of the questions I get asked at Spinner's Study Group is, A, how do I spin so thin? And B, how do I keep it consistent? And I think the biggest answer and the best advice I can give to somebody who may be just starting to spin is to really turn down their tension quite a bit so that the uptake is not a lot. I find that tension really has a lot to do with it, because people are scared that their yarn is going to fall apart if they long draw a draft, and that's because the tension is too high and it will pull the fibers apart before it has a chance to lock together. So that's one reason why it's nice to have the tension low. Also, if your tension is low, it's not taking up so quick that if you have shorter staple fibers, they also get a chance to lock together. The one drawback to having your tension set low, and I mean low, like I would start with it almost all the way off when you're first starting to spin, just so you can feel the difference between none, a little bit, some, a little bit more, all the way on. And as you can see, I don't know, maybe you can't, my spring here is not, oops, my spring for my brake here is not very, I mean, yeah, if I pull on that, the spring is not, it's there's no tension hardly at all. So that's the first thing I learned, is to turn my tension way down on my brake, and that gives my hands and my feet some time to work before the yarn is whisked up onto the bobbin. The other thing to keep yarn consistent is to use fibers that have been well prepped. If the fibers are matted, if they're compressed, if they have been felted at all, you're going to have such a much more difficult time than if they were easily draftable. And I mean, this is into the world. If you know anything about Chris's prep, it is very meticulous and very easy to use. I use kind of a short forward draw. When I want an ab workout, I kind of hold it and I kind of just work my way back until I've got a length of yarn, and then I let it take up. Kind of like doing a sit-up while you're spinning. So that is how I spin on my wheel. And just a little bit of advice on how to keep things consistent, how to keep things thin if you want to go thin. Now remember, it's a curse and a blessing. Once you go thin, it's really hard to go back. And see what I mean about being thin? I mean, this is thinner. This little spot here was thinner than what I showed you all before, unfortunately. See? And I don't know if you can see, but I have this little slidey thing. I would love a woolly winder at some point, but I try to keep my bobbins fairly evenly loaded, and I work back and forth on the bobbin, so when I do something, it's not getting tangled up in itself on the bobbin or sliding underneath other parts that are looser and on top. And I treadle very slow. And my hands work very slow. I'm very methodical. It takes me I've been working on this braid since March, I think. The last stuff I did, I don't know if you can see, but it's over there on my shelves. I haven't even wound it off yet. It's still on the bobbin, so I need to do that. That was the faux cashmere, the last thing I finished. But I'm going down to Port Royal, Virginia on Friday for the 4th of July to do some spinning demo. And I want to be able to use something other than my really awesome merino silk, because it's going to be hot. Like right now, part of the reason why you don't see me on camera is because I look a bloody mess, because it's hotter than Hades today. I mean, it is really hot, and people are cranky because it's so hot. And yeah, the train ride home today was interesting because people were cranky, just really mean. So I ran home, and the first thing, I didn't really run home. That would be horrible. I didn't run home. I drove home. So the first thing I did when I got home, took a shower. So I am in my PJ pants, and I am ready to relax for the evening. I've been having issues with headaches this past week. Started Saturday morning. I woke up with one, and I've had one pretty consistently for days now. I'll take some Tylenol and ebb off, and then I'll come right back. So I'm going to relax tonight. Finish watching Falling Skies. If you guys don't watch that show, it's kind of one of those things we like to do in the summer. We watch Falling Skies. Just wrapped up the last season of Game of Thrones last night, or Sunday. Today's Tuesday. Sunday night, and it was so good. So that's good. See, this is a little thicker than what I was doing before. And this part, this length right here, has a lot of silk in it, so I can hold it way back in the braid. So I'm trying to get it so you guys can see it. For you guys that don't spin yet, oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. The good thing about the Delta Flyer, the Delta Orifice, is I don't have to be right in front of it, like directly. I can be up a little, down a little. So I'm getting all excited, so my feet are picking up. So, and we are in my little studio here. So this is a little different perspective. Let's see, I don't have my yarn behind me, it's over on my shelves. I just had to buy a new huge tub for my sock yarn. I came home with so much sock yarn from Knitpocalypse, I mean, it was kind of crazy. So I had to get 2 big tubs, one for my sock yarn and one for my lace, because apparently I really like sock yarn and I really like lace weight yarn. I have so much of it. I have a big tub and 2 15-quart tubs worth of sock yarn. Alright, so one last thing I want to show you is right here. So this part, you know how I say it's a little bit, I'm going for thin, and you can tell that is quite a bit thicker, especially right in here. So what I want to do is kind of draft it apart. So I untwist it and I pull just a little bit, and I put a little twist in it so it doesn't fall apart. Oh, that's a little too thin. We'll get that on the bobbin. It'll be fine. And then we'll go back to spinning. Back to spinning. One more thing I want to show you before I let y'all go this week is it was a good mail week. Let's see. Sorry if the camera just moved. I bumped the light. So here is, I have a tension keeper. It's a little doohickey. looks like Pac-Man, that I can keeps my yarn from untwisting. But what I wanted to show you guys is I got this. It is Fiber Nymph Dye Works. This is the colorway from the Retreat Minnesota Nice. Lisa put up a call. She had a few skeins from the Retreat left when she got home, and I didn't pick anything. I didn't pick it up when I was there, and I went back and forth and debated because I didn't want to spend a lot of money. But when we got word that Mr. Pixie Knits was going back to work, I decided to go ahead and take her up on the offer. So I picked her up the lace weight. So this is Minnesota Nice ZK 2014 colorway in the Elegance. So it's 80% merino, 20% silk, 875 yards of lace weight. So that is super awesome. So that is all I have for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a different perspective on things, and I'll do another quick maybe shout out later this week. So until then, if I don't, have a great 4th of July, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.